Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 96 of my modded Factorio playthrough. Enjoy. So now we just need to do the turrets, and also pick up all that stone. But we already have enough, so we can pick it up later. So we need 6 turrets times 28 wall sections, so 168 turrets. This is probably going to be pretty resource intensive here. Yeah, we need all sorts of things. Motors and circuit boards and all that, but steel is the shortage, so let's sit down and start sucking up the steel. Although we need lots of steel gear wheels, so we can save some crafting time by picking those up. How many stacks are we making? Ooh, let's set it to make 4 stacks. Kind of wonder if I should just build the basic turrets first, since they're easier. It'll be easier to calculate how many we need. So we need 168. So since we have 20 now, we're going to need 148. See, our factory's still buzzing away, so it's not really wasting time in doing this handcrafting. What are you short on? Motors, I believe. Might as well make 4 stacks of them. Looks like we're going to need a bunch of them. 45, 46, 47, 48. Hopefully I calculated that correctly. So then of there, we just need steel. So hopefully that'll make it slightly easier to calculate, because we just need to replace all those Mark 1s with Mark 2s. Let's see. It looks like we need 160, so we're almost done with solar panels. Done with accumulators. Of course, there's never any slowdown of ammo, though. Ammo's getting pretty close, too. So ammo's getting close. Walls are probably very close. It's a little confusing because the Mark 1s and the Mark 2s have the same icon. But we can kind of tell just based on right here if we're building using a previously built item or building it from scratch. So we just stand here and suck up all the resources. Name of the game for handcrafting. Almost done here. Once we've got this last couple turrets made, we'll have to see if the math was right. And even in the event we have a couple too many, that's fine. You know, they're turrets, we'll use them for something else. We'll build the walls as necessary and come back with any leftovers. It's not too big a deal if we have slightly too much. It's a much bigger deal if we have slightly too few. Alright, there we go for the turrets. Let's let the factory recover a little bit. It's been chugging away making all that steel we needed. It looks like we did the correct number. So we have 150 in here, and then it's another 18. So that should be the exact number of turrets. So I believe that covers the pattern anyway. We have the factory making the rest of that. And we have the non-pattern items taken care of. The bricks, the ammo, the robots, and the repair packs. So now the last thing is the gates. We have 8 total gates. And each gate requires 14 gate pieces. So 8 times 14 is 112 gate pieces. So we've got our reinforced gate here. Looks like this is slowly chugging away there. So we need 112. Of course, short on steel. Why wouldn't we be? 100, 110, 111, 112. And we'll put the unused walls back in here so construction can continue. Alright, let's put the gate sections right there. Just trying to keep it a little sorted just so we can kind of look at it at a glance and see how we're doing. Let's see, we need radars and concrete, but concrete we can just pick up in mass. We're not worried about that. So the last thing we need to make looks like radars and a loader for each. I mean, splitters, belts, and wood crates, we've got those. We're not worried about those. So we need 8 radars in total. And trying to think ahead, we've already got 4 radars right here. Nah, I'll just make the 8, and we'll worry about having extra radars. It's no big deal. I want to be as fully prepared as possible. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I think that is all the handcrafting parts we needed. Thank goodness. So now we need to get all the machine manufactured parts. And we're going to do that in a slightly different way, just to make sure we don't miss anything, and I'll explain what I'm talking about here. So let's look at the pattern and get everything we're going to need. And let's switch this to the power pattern first, because that's a little easier. So, we've got our 608 accumulators. I assume that's how many we needed. So, let's block off each chest and pick up our 608. And let's get the panels. So, 32, 192. Oh, so that's actually not done yet. Okay. And 48. And we need lights and power poles. So here's kind of what I'm talking about. Because our inventory is not full of lamps and power poles, when we pick them up, they're going to fill up our inventory first, or our toolbar first, and then the inventory. And I kind of want to have a full toolbar plus what we need, just so we have slightly extra. So I'm going to fill up my inventory of these things. And let's do the power poles too. They're the big ones. And then we're going to wait for this to complete and then pick up our stacks that we need. So we're putting in exactly what we calculated that we would need. Okay. And I'll just close that off. Pick those up and then let it fill up again. So we needed 232. We've got it. Let's do 4 stacks. Pick everything up. Let that fill up again. I could just kind of throw everything in the inventory, but I kind of want to keep it clean if possible, just reasons. So that's that, but except for the medium panel, so we'll get to that later. Okay, walls. Are we done with walls? Not quite. Gotta be real close, though. We are. I'll let it finish. Let's see, we're going to need belts and inserters, so let's fill up on both. Looks like we're already full on belts, so we can safely just pick all these up. Let's make 4 stacks of each. I'm going to put those away just in case my inventory can't fit it all. I think these I will just kind of go blurp. Okay, inserters. Let's fill up the inventory and then put the inserters back in the box. And looks like we already have more than enough. Or no, we don't. So what's preventing this machine? Oh, we're actually finished with all of those extra yellow inserters that used to be reds. So now we can just have it work as intended here. Should only be a few moments. Okay. Let's make 3 stacks, I guess. Pick those up. Let's throw them in. What else? Turrets, lights we already got, and everything else we already got. I think we're getting pretty close. Now we just kind of need to wait around and get those final things we need. Oh good, walls are finally done. Which is going to take quite a bit of movement here. Let's close this off to just one section, because we're not really going to need walls for much anymore. There we go. How are these panels doing? 192, 163. That'll actually take a few minutes. It's kind of annoying. And actually, while we're here at bricks, there's something else we can do. We need to start managing stone and slag. Because you see with slag, we're starting to fill up. Not completely, but getting close. And stone is alright, because stone is better than slag for making stone bricks out of. Ooh, we're really low on crotinium. I don't think we're going to use it fast enough for that to matter. I think we'll be okay. We're going to run out of it, or we're going to have way too much of this stuff. And I'm thinking long term here. But you see how we have all of this water? Well, our factory is not going to be all zigzaggy just to avoid this water. It's going to be nice and straight. But that means we're going to need landfill. And at this point, landfill is probably the best use of our stone. We have plastic that we can make it with, but short of making batteries and plastic pipes, we're not really using plastic for anything. So, and we're going to actually start collecting a bunch of plastic anyway, because we're making plastic for several conditions. You see, we're making plastic if we have too much carbon dioxide, which we acquire from making clay bricks and from making our concrete, and also from mineralized water. And mineralized water is what we use from processing our coal, and we use coal in a bunch of processes now besides just energy. So I think landfill is a good investment here. I mean, it's a pretty easy research. It's just 20 stone. So first I'd like to max out this belt. So we've got a red belt here. We can actually do even more in theory if we had a whole bunch. Let's see. Let's kind of pick all this up. Let's just see how much we can reasonably fit just within the space of the belts that we have without moving anything. I don't know how much of the factory just lost power, but I'm not really concerned. So let's space it out like this. I don't know how many more we can fit in here. Let's build a few, because we probably can fit a few. Okay, now definitely the factory's like out of power. Let's just do that. Easy mode activated. Okay, factory's still running. Let's see, 1, 2, and one more. Yep, okay. Let's make some stone. how much is it going to take to power all of these? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 of these guys. Ooh, landfill's done. So we need 12. So one of them needs 2 crushed stone every 0.5 seconds, but at a speed of 0.75. And we have 12 of them, which means we need 36 stone per second, crushed stone. And that's more than 1 red belt. That's 1.5 red belts. So let's see, the middle is right here. So if we do 1 belt this way, let's see, but it can't be there because of that. Although, yeah, that'll work just fine. Oh, we need to build the loaders too for the for our gates and stuff. Let's something like this. I think that's gonna work. Okay, that light has to be down here. I don't know if it really needs a balancer, but it's awkward, so I'm taking it out. And we'll put that in there just to fill up this mineralized water if we need it. This should work pretty cleanly. So let's do our inserters. Get rid of that flashing. I don't like picking up from corners. Let's do that. And like there, so belts don't mix. And this is going to crush down into, if we need 1.5 red belts, then it's going to crush down into most of a yellow. Let's see if the yellow will fit. If the yellow is not good enough, we'll upgrade. Okay, let's do inserters. Let's do regulars on the bottom and nears on the tops. And now we need to do an assembly machine to make all of those landfills. And it's going to be a inserter limited machine by far. Because if we look at it, it needs 20 stone every half second. And there's no way that's ever going to happen. Pick up, drop, there we go. Let's just set these up to pick up as much as they possibly can. Oops. I guess like right here. Oh, that one's acting weird. That one should be good. And then we need a silo, something very large to hold. But we're short on iron. But it should probably be like right there. Doesn't have to be exactly lined up there. Okay, and then we have fast inserter. Yeah. Let's see if this works. Yeah, all of those inserters are definitely not enough. We can actually triple down on this if we have to. Doesn't look like it's running down as fast as it could. It's probably unimportant, but let's max this belt out anyway. Just to make sure. Okay, those are buzzing like crazy, but it's not maxing out the belt. So let's go extra crazy here. Do a second level of inserter here, the 3 long. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Pick up, drop. There we go. Then we need regular inserter down there. There we go. Some of it in there. We've got some in the truck. I think like 3 or something. There we go. Look at that. All of those inserters, and it's not enough. I mean, we don't really have the production for it, but... let's see, this guy's getting a little slow. So, we need... about right there. We're getting full output now. Looks like it. Okay. So we need some logic. We don't want to use all of our stone. But we don't want to use most of it. So let's move... Let's create a circuit condition for this fast inserter, the one that's actually emptying. All of the products. See, we'll want something on slag. Alright. So that should have access to both numbers. Yes, it does. So let's say 20,000. If stone, crushed stone specifically, is greater than 20,000, then grind away, making landfill. And we're not really going to look at slag. And we're going to grind out all the slag too. Now our ability to grind out slag is kind of limited because we only have these 2 crushers that conveniently fit in here. But we can set these, well I guess they're set pretty good. Yeah, so these are set if there is less than 10,000 crushed stone to start crushing slag. But we also want to condition if there's too much slag to start crushing the slag as well. So let's make some deciders here. It's going to be kind of a bit of a mess. Let's just pick these up. Put these back in here. So there's basically 2 conditions to where the inserters might run. One is if there's too much slag. And at this point, my definition of too much slag is more than 10,000. I want to make all of it into landfill because we're going to need a lot of it. And at this point, we don't really need this slag for anything. When we go mega base, which is what we're going to start building after we're done with these walls, we're going to have a lot of extra slag. So we're not really going to have a problem with slag. So if slag is more than 10,000, put out a green circle, which means crush it. Also, even if slag is under 10,000, the reason we want to leave that extra 10,000 is so in case we run out of regular stone or crushed stone. So let's say crushed stone is less than 10,000 to also crush. And if so, output a green square. And these will turn on if there's a green square. At least one. Okay. So yeah, as review, if we have too much slag, which is defined as 10,000, they start crushing and transferring them over. And if we have too little crushed stone, they will also crush and send them over. So it's a little odd, but the logic is there. Basically, the net result is that it's going to save 10,000 slag, which is going to be used for the quiet times when we run out of crushed stone. But you see, crushed stone, the low point is considered 10k. But this thing is going to be only bringing it down to 20k. So once it gets to 20k, it's going to stop. So there's like 10k of buffer in there. This is not quite maxing out the way I was hoping for it to. So let's take the extra step here. Let's put something right there. And boom. There we go. It'll be maxed out now. And that's going to quietly landfill away. That's all the time we have for today, so I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.